Hey, 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 what's going on, all my fellow Ubereteers and lifters out in YouTube land? Well, as we always expect, Lyft always follows suit with Uber. Now that Uber has raised their booking fee, and in some markets they gave the drivers some more money, well, guess what? Now Lyft is also doing the same thing. So I had to make sure I checked it all out to make sure, 100%, besides just having a couple people send me a screenshot of what it said. Well, yep, come to find out, yep, Lyft is just going to be Uber's double, pretty much. They're going ahead and raise their rates in some markets. I'm sorry, they're going to raise their rates in all markets just like Uber, but the drivers will receive a little extra in the selected markets that they choose, which will probably end up being the same thing. You know what I'm saying? It'll end up being the same markets that the drivers will get this pay increase in. And what would you say there? No surprise, Lyft would follow Uber pricing. Exactly. Now, what really scares me in a way, with how Lyft follows them all the time. What about that new surge pricing that's coming with Uber? I wonder if Lyft is somehow going to, copy this, and it'll be the same all across the board. I don't like Lyft because people use Lyft when Uber is surging like crazy. Exactly. That is true. At least riders are kind of smart on that aspect. They'll look at both apps, see what's surging and which one's not, because we both know they don't always surge at the same time. And yeah, they'll pick that one. But what I'm really worried about is if Lyft does this surging just like Uber, and like I said, I haven't experienced the new Uber surge myself, but like I said, from a lot of people talking about it and talking to people in the Charlotte test market, I don't know if it's going to really be good. They said the whole, if the surge goes away, you'll still end up getting paid. When the surge is gone, your next ride will still be, $10 extra, as an example. So in a way, that's okay when the surge is gone. But I'm really worried that if both of them do it, then we're going to have no choice but to accept this. It's not like we can just jump ship and jump on to Lyft and get the better surge pricing. If everything that Uber does, Lyft just, follows suit. It's definitely a little mind-boggling in a way. Now, and this is what I don't get. They're in competition. If Lyft was smart, all Lyft would have to do is just raise their actual driver rates, even if it was 50 cents. And I guarantee you so many people would jump ship that Uber would have to follow Lyft. But I don't know why Lyft isn't thinking smart like that. It really makes no sense, because I'm sure, they're a business. All businesses are out there to make money. If one is doing one thing, their competition has to either do the exact same or something better to stay in competition. So I don't get why if Lyft doesn't want to be in Uber's shadow forever, that they don't do something different. I mean, like I had discovered before in another video, I think yesterday, about the whole Lyft showing where drivers want to go. How I missed that before, or where riders want to go when you actually show up. How I missed that, I don't know. I guess it's just because, for me, Lyft cancels a whole lot. Every time, if I have both apps running and Lyft goes first, I'll leave the Uber app on for a little bit longer just in case, as I'm driving towards the next ride, that the Lyft one usually cancels. And it gets really frustrating, and it can piss you off, like, to no belief. So, that's why I always prefer Uber. And that's why everyone gets so pissed off that Uber, is doing all this trickery, as we like to say, because they're paying everybody else. Yep, see, that's smart, Scott. You got to, man. You got to have both apps going. But yeah, you want to leave Uber on a little longer just because you never know. You just never know. But I'm mad in my market. They didn't raise our rates. They just raised the rider rates. So if Lyft raised our rates here alone, I guarantee you that we're going to jump ship. I would try to Lyft even more. Even through all the cancellations and everything else, I would give them a shot. Just because of the fact that I know when I get this ride, if I get this ride, I'm going to get paid more. And let's face it, that's the whole name of the game. That's the whole reason we're doing this, is to get paid. I mean, I know some people are retired and do it for extra money, you know, for fun. And don't get me wrong, I enjoy it. It's really fun. I like meeting new people, making extra connections, just, you know, like everybody else. But I want to make some money. I mean, that's the whole reason. The whole reason behind all this is to make some money. And it just doesn't make sense why Lyft doesn't try to do something different from Uber. Instead of following them, be better than them. All they want to ever do is, when Uber is always in the spotlight for some stupid crap, then they're like, oh yeah, see, that's why we're better. But they're not. They're really not. And if anything, drivers just get double pissed because now they have to deal with this. And from looking at it, I think with Lyft, I think people did get like an extra penny or two. Like, let's say the Pittsburgh market. I know Uber raised their rider rates by 30 cents, and then the drivers, they gave them an extra 10%. The other day when you were at the airport, you were told regulars shut off the app. So the surges, well, that can't happen. But I don't know if you've ever noticed, when you're at the airport, I'm going to literally say at least 9 times out of 10, when you go ahead and turn your, you know, whether you're online or offline, when you're at the airport, you will see it surging all around you and not be surging at the airport. That gets very frustrating as well. And then sometimes, depending on where you park in the airport, even if you're in the airport queue, you can still get pings for rides outside the airport. I don't know how many times I've had that. And then, of course, a lot of people were saying they were using the glitch where you could have your phone say you're in a different position, and people were just getting rides back to back to back. And whether that was actually working or not, I don't 100% know, but I know a lot of people bitched and complained about it. So I assumed it had to have been real in a way. I know personally, when like I said, I've been at the airport, I've got a ping for, you know, Lyft or Uber, but then it wasn't in the airport. And then it kicked me out of the damn queue and reset me. And, you know, I was pissed then. That's when I just leave. I'm like, I'm not sitting here any longer. That just is upsetting. But Lyft, oh, what did someone say in here? Michael, seems to me like Uber and Lyft are working together for themselves. You damn right they are, man. We all know Uber and Lyft have to be working for themselves, because they all want to try to say everything's from for the drivers, but it's not. If it was, then they would take the simplest things that we want and give them to us. That would make almost all drivers shut the fuck up, at least for a while. Of course, there's always something to complain about, and, you know, that you can improve on, you know, just like in anything, any job at all. But most of the time, I mean, I swear to God, if we would get a 50 cents, I don't give a damn how much they raise the rider rates, but if they just paid us like at least 50 cents, $1, anything at all more, besides 10 cents, of course, that's just ridiculous. The drivers would be so happy. They wouldn't care how much the riders are getting charged. Because I don't know how many times in these Facebook groups, how many times people always are saying, you know, we're getting ripped off. Uber and Lyft, they're taking, you know, 50%, 60%. Yes, that's exactly what it looks like, because it's what we're seeing. But that stupid new agreement crap that we signed says they can charge them what they want, and it changed what we're doing. And a lot of people still say we get 80% and they get 20%, but it's insane. Too many people willing to drive for current rates. That is true. A lot of people need this gig. A lot of people had started driving back in the day when it was really good and you were making like $2-something an hour. They just hired CEO. Oh God, I haven't heard about that yet. Oh. But a lot of people have been driving for Uber and Lyft since it started. You know, like, for example, I'll go ahead and say this because I see his videos a lot. The Uber man, I know he's been driving, or if he does drive anymore, he's been there from the start, like 4 or 5 years or whatever. And everybody back then was getting paid top dollar. You could go out there and for like 5 hours, you'd make almost $500. And that's why it was so good. Yeah. So a lot of people, man, that's why everyone's getting so discouraged, and all the vets don't want to tell any of the newbies any of their secrets, because they know within 3 months, the newbies are just going to be like, I'm out, because they don't know what to do. They don't know where to go. A lot of them don't even really realize there's Facebook groups or YouTube channels out there that can help them. Because, let's face it, Uber and Lyft don't help us at all. They gave you, what, that little crappy-ass video with that damn robot voice? Hi. You know what I mean? Like, turn left. You can go ahead and get your riders anywhere. Turn your app on. I mean, it's fucking ridiculous. If it was too good, then people would all quit their minimum wage jobs. You know what? I got to give you credit on that, Misk. That is true. But just because it's really good in some places, like that's why I always say in a lot of markets, it's not really good. In some, it is really good. But if Lyft would just do something different. They just need to do something different. I'm sorry, let me check up some of these comments. You had 2 ladies from the airport to Siesta Key say their daughters told them not to tip. Not to tip? Yeah, no, that's the fucked up thing. Uber, at least Lyft has always had tipping in the app, right? So we all know that. But Uber has beat this in people's heads for so many years that tipping didn't, you don't need to tip and everything else. It's just crap. Is it true that with Uber, you need to actually be in the surge area now to get the surge? No, that is not true. As long as it says it when you go to accept that ride, because, you could get the ride and still be like a mile away from the surge or whatever, and still get the surge. Now, I mean, in the new market with everything, I think that, you might have to stay in the surge. That I'm not 100% sure because I haven't experienced the new surge yet. But from my understanding, as long as it says, when you go to accept that ride, it's saying it's surging, or that fact that your next ride is going to be $8, $9, $10 or whatever, then you're good. And that's why I always recommend everybody, as soon as you can, if possible, and I know it's not always possible, you try to screenshot that shit. So that way you have proof to back up, if you don't get paid what you're supposed to get paid. And I always recommend everybody try to calculate their stuff at the end of the night, just in case. I saw someone complaining on Facebook about accepting it as surge and not being paid to surge. Yeah, sometimes I think in that case they might have been in the surge, but their ride was actually out of the surge, because sometimes riders try to get slick to not pay the surge amount, and they'll go ahead and put their destination or their pickup area a little bit farther away, and then they'll like either walk over there, or they'll just when you get there they'll be like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm not there, it's the wrong location, and try to get you to come back in and tell you where to go, but you won't be getting surge. That's when you're just like, you're like, fuck you, I'm going to go ahead and I'll wait 5 minutes, cancel, get that money, and go. Yeah, a lot of riders just try to get over, man. They try to figure out any loopholes with the system, which in a way, a lot of riders are also drivers. So a lot of drivers are just assholes as well. That's why in most of all the groups, you won't see people really actually giving helpful information or helping people or just answering a simple fucking question. They always want to be smartasses, and that drives me so insane. And like I said, my group that I run has 17.6 thousand people in it. Oh, and it's just gonna be such a pain in the ass. I try to tell everybody, just check the pin posts, refer them to the pin post. You got nothing good to say, just refer them to the pin post. That takes care of everything. I have all the information on there for them. Now, let's see. Riders got game. You got $1 to $2 for surges? Oh, man. Yeah, that would piss me off. Oh, JJ, you're in my group? I hope you guys enjoy the group. I try to keep it regulated as best I can. And, try to keep it from escalating issues and going crazy. I tell everybody to just tag me or Eddie when Eddie's around. But I tell them all to tag me so that way I can just take care of that shit right there. And I try to make a post every other week saying, or month at least, saying everybody be chill and calm, just because there's so many people. Everybody has different outlooks and aspects and ideas and opinions, everything. So it's always hard to come with everybody. Oh yeah, 3 is enough. It's only on Friday. What time? Oh, I'm sorry. Let me go back. Oh, yes, that's true. That's true. People will monitor the app. All right. Riders are not stupid. And that's why it kind of pisses everybody off that Uber and Lyft are raising these rider rates, because they know no matter what, these people are going to pay. They need a ride. They've been doing this for so long. A lot of people even got rid of their vehicles just because they thought, or they say it's cheaper to take an Uber and Lyft than to pay for a car payment and insurance. And honestly, I mean, I can see that depending on where you actually have to go. And with a lot of markets having, I guess, express pool or pool, which I'm glad I don't have in my market. But I know that I guess it's so damn cheap that people just don't even bother getting rides. And that's why the longer all this continues, the more and more Uber and Lyft know they can raise the rates as much as they want and people are still going to pay. It's just how it is. Hell, it's here we want a good example to compare this to. Remember Redbox? When Redbox first came out, Redbox, everything was $1. You could rent a movie, it was $1. Now it's like $1.70 something, and Blu-rays are like $2. And guess what? People are still using it. Just because after you've had it for so long, it's like built into your head. Oh, I'm going to use it. This is easy access. And then voila, it just hits you up. And Uber and Lyft are going to continue to do this. And it really sucks. And that's why a lot of people want to talk about unions and everything else. But it's insane. What's this? Uber, Lyft are the drug dealers. Get them hooked cheap and frog boil them. Slowly raise the rates. Cooked. That is funny right there. That is true. A lot of drug dealers and, yeah, mainly the dealers. I mean, I've had quite a few dealers get in my fucking ride and go off, and it's like, I smoked weed and, saying like that, so I know what that shit smells like, and they're sitting there, they're smelling like a hardcore. I pull up somewhere, they're like, oh yeah, I'm just going to the store for a second. They literally walk in the store and walk right back out, and I'm watching you. I see you didn't go to the cash register, you didn't get anything, you just went up to homeboy and, hand off. And voila, I'm not dumb. Now, that is so wrong, and I wish they didn't do that. But I'm not going to get too mad all the time, because thankfully, nothing happened. I didn't get busted. But I have had them tip very well, surprisingly. So, yeah. It's always, different situation, different circumstances. But yes, Ozium, I can't say that word very well. But that works really good on getting any kind of smells out. Use the original. A lot of people use Febreze and stuff too, but... And what is this? Someone else asked me. Do I live in Wesley Chapel? Yes, I live in Wesley Chapel area. Alpha 54. How old am I? Oh, fuck. I am 33. Holy shit. Yep. I would be 34 this year. Doing the do. Yep. Gotta do the do. I wish the Lyft would follow suit. Raise some fucking rates. I am so mad to give and take Pandora's box. Yeah, it is. It is, man. I'm a baby technician. Yeah, I got 4 kids as well. I grew up when I was 18, so my first kid was at 18. So I've been an adult since you could legally be an adult. September 5th is my birthday. My wife's birthday is September 4th, so how fucking ironic is that? It's pretty awesome. Oh, man. But that's what I was trying to say. When people want to talk all about this unionize and everything else, in one aspect it's a good idea because we get somewhat of control. But then you have to pay to go out to dinner one and but you know what I'm saying? But then you have to pay for whatever dues, and there's always going to be some greedy asshole thinking he's going to run everything. And then it's still, all it is just changes hands, and it's someone else going to be dealing with shit that we might not like as well. So it's almost like we're damned if we do, and we're damned if we don't. It really gets frustrating a lot of times. And that's why it really sucks that, Uber being this big-ass company it is, the fact that, bam, they can do what they want and raise rates, and then they're going to have their little sister Lyft just do the same damn shit. And this is why Uber is going to, always be on top. And it can get really frustrating. It can get so frustrating. And when they just keep raising the fucking their rates, paying themselves, it's not our fault they dumped all that money into autonomous vehicles and then fucked up on how it worked. And it ended up hitting and killing somebody. You know what I'm saying? That's a sad situation. But it's not our fault that happened. We didn't tell them to go ahead and do that. That's just what they thought would be better in their interest. So that's why they keep doing this shit. And like everyone says too, drivers join every day. They have thousands and thousands, I'm sure, drivers joining and thousands quitting. That's why you'll see now and then during certain times, like right now, they dropped all the fucking referrals. They'll drop referrals because they get more people. So that way they know. And even if they have the markets that have no referral money, they know that damn well people still going to try to drive and still try to come back. Oh, what we got up in here? Scott Jurgensen, you're 9-4. Oh, that's awesome, man. Go out to dinner, one and two. Oh, okay. Oh. I started 3 starring packs on Lyft that are too far away. Take a short ride and don't freaking tip all the while they're talking to use Lyft because it's cheaper. You're right. You're right. And you know what? And a lot of times I would say it is kind of in a way wrong that people, as long as you're not judging people if they tipped you or not, and why you're going to give them a less than 5-star rating, then because it's a far ride, I don't blame you. And then if you're talking to them and they actually tell you it's because it's cheaper and everything else, hey, it's your ride. So you go ahead, you tip them. You rate them the way you see fit. You know what I'm saying? I really hate that too. That's why it's really fucked up how I'm sure people heard of this other video that they were listening to the Lyft person and they were saying that if you don't drive that 20-minute ride to go pick them up, that you could run the risk of being deactivated. But then they say, oh, but you're your own boss. You don't have to take the ride. But in not having to take the ride, you still run the risk of being deactivated. That is the only spot where I think Uber and Lyft differ at all, is the fact that Uber's acceptance rating, you can have that bitch all the way down to 2%. And I haven't seen people get kicked off. But with Lyft, you go ahead and you'll get deactivated. They will fucking do it to you. Which is really fucked up. And you're right, Dark Road Run. Yep. We are always paying for Uber's mistakes. And that's why I understand why Lyft doesn't do something different. Lyft I'm sure they might have been thinking about autonomous vehicles or whatnot, but we ain't heard no bad shit about them. We don't even hear the lawsuits except the lawsuit where I guess they were not paying drivers exactly what they were supposed to be getting paid. They were like skimming off the top. But you would think Lyft would have some kind of money to go ahead and raise our rates. And if they did, everybody would go there, man. Everybody would go to Lyft. I know I'd go to Lyft. I'm sure everybody watching right now could agree. Type 1 if you agree that you would go to Lyft. If Lyft raised your rates 50 cents or higher, you would just jump ship on Uber and say, psh, fuck off. That'd be perfect. That's why when everybody talks about striking and everything, that's just never going to work. It's just never, ever going to work. Unless you could get the whole fucking country to strike at the same time, it ain't going to happen. It's a waste of time and effort. And nobody has anything organized. Nobody. And I know even a lot of people gave Uberman shit for when he was trying to do things. That was messed up. Misk. See, that's why Uber doesn't do anything for drivers. They're not loyal. Well, sadly, they make us that way. I'm sure everyone watching can agree with that. They force your hand in the end and piss you off. And just like any other job, if you're doing the same exact job, but someone's going to give you $5 more an hour or whatever, you're going to jump ship. I'm sure you are. Everybody is. Money talks and bullshit walks. That's how the world goes around. Best thing a driver can have these days is a backup plan. Damn right, Dark Run. Damn right, man. That's why I always tell everybody this is just a stepping stone, because you don't know. At any time, any kind of bullshit at all, one rider can just say anything and you can be deactivated. Just like that. Even if you have a dash cam, they can still not take your footage and shit, and you can be deactivated. And that is just horseshit to me. That is so fucked up that they would allow that to happen. And a lot of times I've had a lot of people message me and they'd be like, hey, I got deactivated and they just said that there was an issue. And then they can't get a hold of them because they just said, oh, it's done, it's final. And they're like, what the hell? You know, they don't know. JJ said, that's when I lawyer up. Yeah, I mean, some people can, but then that costs money too. That's the downfall of that. Really? I did and now drive less for Uber. That's why really it all, in the end, this all boils down to is if Lyft or Uber, if one of them would just do something different and the other one followed in a good way, everybody would be so much happier. And if they just gave us a fucking rate increase, they know damn well, besides the tipping option, I'm talking about Uber, besides having a tipping option, everyone just wants a fucking rate increase. They've increased their rates like, what, at least 3 times in the last 2 years? And that's what, 30 cents, 30 cents. It was like at least $1 or damn near close. And all they do for us is nothing. At least in my market, some people at least got this 10%, which was like I said, it was only like 10 cents more per mile and then like 2 cents more per minute. That's still like a laugh. That's just a kick in the face right there, really. And then the fucked up thing is they're still smiling, and then you still always get those messages all the time and see all those goddamn commercials, and they're all like, oh, do what you want. You can be your own boss. Make all this money. And it's like, you can only really make money if you know what the hell you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, you ain't going to make money. You're going to lose money and then bitch and cry about it in Facebook groups and quit. And honestly, I almost wonder if sometimes if that's the whole reason of this shit. They just know people are going to keep quitting and keep quitting. I never see Uber commercials anymore. Yeah, I've seen them. Oh my God, I still see them all the time. And it drives me insane. And I'm like, and then they stopped saying on how much you could make now, though, because I guess that, I'm sure that was a lawsuit they had. But it's just so crazy. That's why Lyft needs to stop following suit and do something different. Be their own fucking person. You know what I'm saying? They're both rideshare companies, but Lyft would stand out if they would just be like, hey, you know what? Fuck Uber. That's why, like someone said earlier, it seems like of course they're working for themselves, but it almost seems like they're working together. They're both like, hey, nobody else could do anything. No other rideshare app can really come in and take control over both of us. Hey, Becky. But no other Uber, no other rideshare thing could take over as long as they're in collusion with each other and doing the same things. They're keeping the market. It's pretty much almost like a monopoly. And that's why monopolies have been, we're supposed to be banned, but it just seems like it's a monopoly. They're keeping it at the same rates, so that way we have no other extra options. And then all these other little rideshare companies that are trying to do something different, they just don't have enough capital to get things going. And of course, nobody really wants to invest in that because they see, oh, look, we're not making as much money as if we invest, in Uber or Lyft. Of course, they're already established, so they're well known and everybody knows them. But drivers don't even want to join in. Drivers don't even want to waste their time in doing that because then it's more like it's up to them to start over and get customers and everything. Just like when Uber and Lyft first became in every market, you go ahead and tell your people, hey man, Uber's around, giving those cards, referral cards out for free rides. And nobody wants to have to do that all over again just for the next company to go ahead and come in and then still follow suit with Uber and Lyft. They'll still match up the same shit. Everything always starts out nice and awesome, and then bam, it converts back to the same old shit. And it really sucks. And that's why, even with all this shit, no driver appreciation from both companies. Yeah, nobody ever gets a thank you. That's right, Dark. Nobody gets a thank you. They don't really give a shit. They really don't. And even through all this crap, only reason I try to make sure I stay positive and keep everybody else positive, because besides bitching and getting upset, there's really nothing we can do about it. So all we can really do is, either quit and get another job, as all the smart asses say, or you make the best of a shitty situation. That's why I will always promote, no matter what. I will fucking say tip boxes and signs. No matter what. To the end of time, to kingdom come, I will always say it. Because, like I said, when I didn't have them, I was not making nowhere near as much. And now that I'm using it, it's fucking awesome. And that's why I'd always love for people to just do a challenge. Have that shit in one weekend, and the next weekend take it out, and you see for yourself how much more you made. See, there you go, Jay. You see? I'm glad a lot of people do agree, but then there's many that don't agree, and they won't say why. Well, thank you, Dark Run. I try, man. I ain't got anything else to do anyways. With the sign-on bonus, do we get the lump sum at once? Well, that depends. If you're talking about Uber either has an extra amount you make after completing, X amount of trips, or it's a guaranteed amount you'll make in doing X amount of trips. With Lyft, okay, now I keep seeing a couple people having these promos out there. They said something, if they signed up with the Lyft promo, that it was getting like $500 at once, but then they realized, I think that promo ended like last year or whatever. Now they're making it so with Lyft, every drive you do, like if your bonus is 500 and you get approved, you used the code or whatever, 350 sign on, that means each trip you take, you're going to get paid extra money until you reach $350. So that means you might get an extra $2 a ride or whatever up until that amount. And then after that amount, then you're going to just get paid normal, and that's what they consider your payout. So Lyft, on the bonus and referral wise, I do like their progress a little bit better because, yeah, Beck, you don't get it all at once. No. Unless it was, like I said, one of those old promos that it was like 125 rides in 45 days or some crap like that. But it's no driver's promo. There's no other driver's promo that I know that you can use that you'll get that amount of money. They pay mine in lump sum to completion of 100 trips in 30 days. And that was 2 months ago? Yep, see? That's what I'm saying. I know a couple months ago, but that wasn't a driver's promo, right? That was a Lyft promo. That was like straight from Lyft. Like no other drivers benefited from that, correct? You got 500 direct from Lyft. So it was a Lyft promo. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like you didn't use like my link or something and then that shit said that you're going to get 500 after. It was just an actual from a Lyft promo, not an actual driver's promo. Okay, direct. Okay. Yeah. And then see, that's why I wasn't totally sure if those were working or not. Because, I mean, I've been with Lyft for so long. I think when I did mine, I don't think I made the promo in time. Because Lyft does dick you on that. At least Uber, they give you 90 days from when you get approved to drive to be able to get your bonus or guarantee. They emailed you the offer. It's another way to undercut the driver. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That means they go direct to them and then you don't want to use a driver's promo so that way they're not losing double money. But with Lyft, when you go to sign up and they start your promo, they start your time from as soon as you sign up. And then sometimes it could take almost a month to get approved. So while the whole time you're waiting to get approved, you're losing your time, your driving time on to meet these bonuses. So it's just so messed up. Because the driver code pays less in my area. See, you only get $100 and see, that's just fucked up. How does the summers? Does the earnings go to earnings? For a lot of people, they do say yes, but for me, I'm going to say no. It's just, I don't know if it's a really slow day or not, like the Easter somehow, that blew my mind how slow it was. But if it's still normal, normal days of, no crazy holidays or events, personally, no, I don't really see my earnings go down because mainly I do the weekend. And like I tell everybody, I make a plan in the beginning and I stick to my plan. I mean, I might deviate depending on where I have to drop off people, but I always have a plan. If you study your map enough and know everything, you know exactly where to go and when to go for good rides. Even if it's not surge, you know damn well you're going to get a ride. And since I am an XL, I have more ability to, make more. And that's, so So to me, no, my earnings don't go down. To normal UberX, it's possible that those people's earnings could go down. But to me, no. I'm sorry, damn, I had a bunch of things come in. Earnings go up for summer here in Rhode Island. Yeah, that's good. That's good. You get Lyft over at start time. Oh, they overrid it? Oh, man, that's even awesome. Shit, I haven't heard anybody doing that. I know they have a thing in there. If you look in your Lyft app, it'll say manually added promo. I've never seen anybody actually get one. From anybody that's ever asked about it, because, you know, Uber will let you retroactively apply a referral code. You know, if it hasn't been so many days after you've either completed your market strips or if you haven't driven yet, they still will let you add a promo. So that's kind of cool, unlike Lyft. You started initially in April. Oh, wow. See? I wish that had happened. I didn't get that lucky. Coney Island. That's awesome. And you didn't finish till January? Wow. So that's impressive right there. See, and maybe you just got someone really good from Lyft support. That's another thing. Uber and Lyft support are just, they can be jokes. Thankfully, in my market, I have the phone ability. But when I call, of course, I'm pretty sure they're all from India. I swear to God, everyone that answers, because I've called many times for at least Uber, and they're always an Indian accent. Which, you know, nothing wrong with that, but sometimes it can be pretty thick and hard to understand them, or at least it seems like they're not understanding me. I don't know. But that's like the only way to really get things resolved. And with Lyft support, thankfully I've never had to call them or even message them yet, thank God, because from my understanding, they're like even harder to get a hold of than Uber. See, when people ask about posting an Uber number, it won't work if your market doesn't have it. But if you want to find out if your market does have it, just open your app, go to account, go to help, and it'll be in the top right corner. You'll have a little phone icon if the phone service is available in your market. That's all you have to do. It's just those couple steps, and it's supposed to be 24 hours. It was supposed to be released in all markets by the first of the year, but a lot of people still say it ain't there. So I don't know why they've said that when it was part of the 180 days of change. You emailed them why you didn't get your bonus and explain. Oh, see, that's good. I'm so glad though. So that is awesome though right there that you actually got that. But man, like I said with everybody, I am just so wish. Oh, you live 0.2 miles from the hub? Oh, Jesus. Jesus, you be over there all the time, don't you? Like, yo, where's my money? You should just keep going there every day, like write a letter to them. Raise our rates, raise our rates, raise our rates. Enough time goes by, maybe they actually listen. That's why when everybody always says anything like that, I'm like, instead of complaining in the Facebook groups about, you know, Uber and Lyft need to raise their rates, complain to them on their pages. You know what I'm saying? Uber's got a Facebook page. Lyft's got a Facebook page. You can blow them up on Twitter. I mean, if everyone got behind that whole hashtag delete Uber and all that crap, people could be like hashtag, you know, raise rates and shit. Experienced technical difficulties. There we go. Oh, man, I don't know what the hell happened there. Sorry about that. Oh, my messages aren't coming through on the both of them. We have had technical difficulties. There we go. All right, now what you said. Yeah, you're damn right they'll be over there to get your money, man. Always get that money. You wonder how the Indian Uber reps feel about Uber? What's their pay? That's a good question right there. I wonder what those reps get paid. I wonder what any of them people get paid. I know the engineers and everything, they actually get paid. But you know damn well they wouldn't stand by and have their pay drop every year or whatever and still stay. No. That's why I don't understand why they keep dicking us drivers. Without us, there'd be no Uber or Lyft. That's what I don't understand the most. And that's why I was always saying Lyft needs to just take charge and say, fuck you, Uber, we're going to do things different. Whether it'll be good or not, hey, you just never know. But as we all know the definition of insanity is doing the same shit over and over and over and over and expecting a different result. So that's the bottom line right there. So if they don't get something, if they don't change, they're just going to go down. So that means if Uber gets screwed and goes down, Lyft's just going to follow suit and go right down with them. And you can imagine how our economy and everything is going to go. I mean, taxis would be, I'm sure, will be way happy. Hell, especially their medallion things they bought. Oh, I heard those things cost a couple $100,000, and then they've turned into nothing now. Nothing at all. And I was like, whoa. That's got to be hard right there. Where the rubber hits the road for them. Yeah, I have to agree with you, man. So have to agree with you. This is just ridiculous. But for somehow, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I think at least 2 other markets that I've seen people post about, like I said, they raised the rider rates at least 30 cents on both apps. And yeah, the drivers only got piss, which is really crazy. And you got to think, in a way, they had to think there was going to be some kind of backlash, that people were going to say something like, hey, so you're going to get, 10 slices of the pie and I only get 1? Like, that's pretty fucked up. But since it's their company, and of course companies are in to make business, they don't really give a shit. They don't care how they do it, they just want to do it. And then have a smile on their face like, hi, I'm here to fuck you. Oh, don't you like it? Oh yeah, they don't even care that they lost riders because they know people are going to keep coming and keep doing it. You know what I'm saying? That's just like the whole the football thing with the NFL. So many people were boycotting that, but so many people still watch it. So what does it do? What does it change? Nothing. Not a damn thing. And it's going to be the same with Lyft and Uber. It's never going to change. Man, I'm in Florida. It's fucking always summer down here. I swear to God. If they go, the hitchhiking will be the thing again. I know, right? It'll no longer be worried about strangers getting in your car. It's just going to pull up and be like, hey, so you paying or what? What was that saying? All the time, ass, grass, or cash. Nobody rides for free. Oh, man. Why is it the service fee changes all the time? That should be standard across the board. You're damn right, Becky. That should definitely be standard across the board. It gets ridiculous on how they keep saying they have to pay for their app maintenance and all this other shit. It's like, well, what have you been doing differently that you were doing, 6 months ago? Is it the app all of a sudden costs more to run now? Really? Did electricity go up somewhere? I mean, shit doesn't make no sense. And they call it a service fee. What about our fucking service fee? Shit, we got to deal with fucking crazies everywhere. And then they tell us we're not allowed to protect ourselves with a gun? That's insane. You know what? That's true. Costs of insurance could be different from state to state. But then I hate to say it then. Well, then the drivers in those states should maybe have to pay more to use it. But everybody else in the other states, I mean, we shouldn't. But I don't know. Either way, that's kind of fucked up, too. They just need to raise our fucking rates. And then nobody will have shit to talk about. I'm trying to think of the only thing next after people if they ever raise the rates for us, the only thing I think next would talk about is how they won't let us protect ourselves. I think that'll be the next thing. Because even cabbies, I'm pretty sure, can carry some kind of weapon. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's a little bat, anything. Right on, just pay us better. We deliver. I know, right? There is awesome drivers everywhere. So many drivers are awesome. And they provide 5-star service all the time. And it sucks sometimes when they get dicked over by a rider who probably, only takes it now and then or something and just made up some bullshit. Or when they let people get approved for Uber and Lyft, and then suddenly, the next time they have a background check, all of a sudden, bam, they're deactivated. Because people got pissed off, you know what I'm saying, that all of a sudden, oh, well, you had a felony, or he had something happen, 7-8 years ago, and it's like, what the fuck? Cab pay $100 weekly for service fees. Hell, I would love a flat service. You're damn right. There you go. Because a lot of people drive. Some drive more than others. So if you had like a $100 service fee across the board, of course you take that out in a fucking day or two. Yeah, if you go to account and then help, and you don't have that phone icon in the top right, then I hate to say it, but your market doesn't have the phone service. So for you to contact Uber at all on your app to ask them random questions, you have to go to account, help, account and payment, changing account settings. I have another account issue, and then you can ask them whatever the hell you want there, and that's how they'll respond back to you. In case you didn't know. Damn, I've told people that so much I had that shit memorized. Like I said, I talk to people all day, every day. Someone's messaging me, asking me something. That's why I like to make these videos too, so that I can try to refer people back to videos. Because when I answer the same question 10 times a day, it does get a little irritating, but that's what I offered for people, so I can't bitch. That's why it kind of sucks, you know. Uber and Lyft, we had to sign the same shit saying they can do what they want on charging people. And then we want to turn around and bitch, but they didn't. I don't remember when we signed up that it kept saying they were going to keep changing their rates and not pay us anything else. I don't remember that one though, but it's still fucked up. But yes, all of us drivers signed something and we know what we're in for. We know what to expect, at least to a certain degree. And that's why these YouTube channels and Facebook groups are helpful in a way, because you get to see perspectives and see what's going on all across the board. You know what I mean? In every state. For most of the time you drive is surging in promotion. You're damn right, man. And that's what a lot of drivers do. All the vets, anybody that's been driving over 2 years, that's mainly what they do. They're surge drivers. Yeah. Oh, thanks, JJ. I hope you stay safe and have a great day. Get that money. Got to get that money. But yeah, that's across the board. That's what almost all the vets do. They only will drive surge times. Which, you know what? Who can blame them? Who can blame them at all? Uber Eats. You know what? I've never had to call Uber Eats before, so I'm glad, because, I mean, I've had to cancel on it plenty of times where I got my free meal. But I've never actually had to call them. Thankfully. At least not yet. I better knock on wood. Watch. Tomorrow I'm going to try doing Eats. I'm going to have something go haywire now. And speaking of Eats, I'm surprised Lyft doesn't have that yet. They followed suit on everything else, but they don't have like Lyft Eats. At least not that, to my knowledge. I've never got an advertisement for it or a promotion, anything for it. So, I don't know. They might have like a Lyft Eats somewhere. You need to get a cheap car for it. Hey, especially, man, just get a little 2-door or something. Because with Uber Eats, you can have 2 doors and do whatever you want. And a lot of people, some people don't like it, some people do. But hey, to me, no matter what, it's a good time filler. And if I'm hungry, I can always take a shot at getting some free food. And let's be honest, who doesn't like some free food? Especially somewhere you want to go. Just McDonald's, I always urge. If anytime I ever talk about Uber Eats, McDonald's, I say please stay away. If you're going to do a McDonald's run, take your ass inside, okay? Do not wait in that fucking drive-thru. Do not waste your time there. If you're going to do it, you better go in. And we all know how fast food joints can always get your order wrong no matter what. That's why I don't like doing those. Because if they can't get my order right, I got to depend on them to get somebody else's right. And it ain't my job to check into shit to make sure it's all there. Now, other restaurants, yeah, you know, they tend to do a lot better. Like, my favorite one is Outback. Outback and Hooters. Those are the best fucking ones to order from. And people don't know this, or a lot of people don't really, but if you know the couple restaurants that are in the same area that do Uber Eats, park in their freaking parking lot. If you stand in the parking lot closest to the front door, when they go to actually try to ping out rides, it increases your chance of getting a ride. I don't care what anybody says. I've even tried to test it. Me and my one friend, we were both sitting there, you know, because he's a driver too. We were both sitting in the fucking parking lot. He parked next to the door. I parked back, and he would get all the pings. He got 2 pings back to back before it gave me 1. So, yeah, the closer you are to the restaurants, the more likely you're going to get a chance for Uber Eats. And Uber Eats isn't like doing Uber, so there's a lot less drivers out there. So the best thing is, the options are you're going to get a ping. What's up, Dean? New to my channel, well, thank you for subscribing, man. I hope the other videos that, you know, are helpful for you. I know all the live ones, I can go all over the place because I got people talking left and right, so we have fun with those. But I hope the normal ones I do when I actually stay on a certain topic, I hope they're helpful. I try to give everybody helpful content and things I think people should know or things I wanted to know. And I know there's a lot of YouTube channels out there. There's tons. There should at least be one for each market. I always recommended that because my market might not be the same as yours. So Uber drivers line up here at the restaurants. They form circles just waiting for pings. Damn. Yeah, nope. I will sit there. I'll park my car. Sometimes I'll go in the restaurant. Like if it's Hooters or something like that, I'll just chill in there. Bam. I get hits left and right, left and right. It's almost just like the airport glitch when that was going on. It's all about location, location, location. Holy shit. We've been doing this for 50 minutes. Woo! Man, and some of y'all have been here, at least the numbers have been about the same the whole time. I'm glad you guys at least enjoying our little discussions here. Oh, God. But if Lyft would just follow suit, we would just, or not follow suit all the time, I should say. Damn. Oh, I'm getting so mad at both of them. Yet I drive for them and promote them every day. But man, they can still piss you off. It just pisses you off a lot of times. But yes, if they would just do something different, raise our driver rates, we would jump ship to Lyft quick as hell. Or if Uber did it first, well, then we know Lyft is going to do it because Lyft almost always does everything Uber does. And everybody will be happy. But do I actually expect to see any of this happen? How can you see Uber Eats promotion? Usually when you open your app, if you go to earnings, you open the Uber app, click earnings, and if there's any kind of promotions at all, it should stay it right there. You just have a little slot that says promotions. It should be under invites or above invites. But you'll have it there, and it'll show you all the promotions, if any, that you have for your area. Sadly, a lot of markets don't have promotions. And that's what pisses off a lot of drivers as well. And I'm sure, I don't know if everybody else has, but Lyft lately, I get, well, look at this. Let's see. What does this say? Streak bonuses. I don't know how many times a day, or at least 2-3 times a day. Most of the time it's 2-3 times a day. But I'll have it where I got streak bonuses. Look at that. They'll send you a text message and say, earn $12 for every 3 rides in a row. 3 rides in a row. You'll get $12. Each streak between the time of 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. What are the odds of you getting 3 rides in an hour with Lyft that are close and short enough to make this? Slim to fucking none. So pretty much they send these shits out here just to like the Geico commercial with the carrot. Oh, you got it. Almost got it. Get that $1. You know what I'm saying? They have it out there, but most of the promotions are almost impossible to make. Especially for any part-timers. Now, if you're full-time, maybe you'll be able to do it. But for part-timers, they make that so you're not actually getting anything. You won't get these promotions. And there's a lot of places that also have Quest. If you have a Quest in your market, please make sure you read it correctly. Sometimes they'll only do just Uber Eats or Pool or UberX, but not have Uber XL. So any XL rides you took, it wouldn't count towards your damn it, I forgot the word. But it wouldn't count. It wouldn't count towards your bonus time. So yeah, it can really suck at times. And people, oh, the Quest. It can really suck with the Quest just because of that option. So please, everyone, read your Quest if you have them very carefully and see what they actually say, what counts and what doesn't. And after each trip, make sure you check that it actually counted it. Because I knew at one point, guess you'll have to go to the hub in Clearwater. Yep, they closed down one of our hubs. But when they added Express Pool to everyone's market, that screwed up so many people's Quest. Like, it wasn't counting any Uber Eats orders at all. And so many people got pissed off. A lot of people didn't even realize this and just thought they didn't make it. So please, make sure you're always checking through your app after every trip, if it's possible, to make sure it showed up, you got paid correctly, you know, and actually got paid. Because so many people get fucked every day and don't even realize it. And that's another reason all these damn lawsuits are going out there. And that's why I was really shocked in a way when, with Lyft's upfront pricing, you know, they started stealing from people just like Uber did. But Lyft's didn't actually have anything signed different to say that they were doing that. So that's why they got screwed on that. But with Uber, we already knew what was going down. We already knew what was happening. That's really how it is. And that's why sometimes it can suck on getting tips, because they don't tell the riders that they're paying them, you know, whatever, they're paying $80 for that ride, and we're only going to get 30 to 40, you know, 40 bucks off of it. They don't tell them that. They think that we're making, you know, 60, 70 bucks of that, which is really shocking. That's why I'm sure everybody, every day when you go out there, you have at least one time a day when you have a rider with you, I know damn well they ask you if you make good. Like, hey, how much do you make? Or you know, how much do you make today? How much do you make an hour? No matter what, money always comes into play when they ask you how much you actually make driving with Uber and Lyft. And then, of course, that's where things can get tricky, though. And if you go the positive or the negative route, well, that can affect everything. That can affect your rate, if they might tip or not. So what I always tell people, I'm like, I do good, not bad. Some days are better than others. Be like, hey, I'll be doing a lot better if you're sending me a tip. Leave a little tip, I'm doing a lot better. Yep, always educate your riders. And that's why, no matter what, hell, a lot of people think it's like different. Instead of 5 stars means good, I've had people say, oh, I thought the 1 star was like 1 was number 1. I'm like, what the fuck? What do you mean you thought that? Oh, yeah, well, that's just what I thought. And that's why you have to have something, you know, if you have a tip thing, you have, it's recommended to just have it say that they're appreciated but not required. Because I think you can't say that, you know, tips are required. But you would like to think, though, a lot of people would tip. But sadly, they don't. But they'll tip everybody else except someone with their safety. So it can really get pretty screwed up. Capture screen and send to yourself to print and show passengers when appropriate. Yeah. You could do that. I know a lot of people also have some kind of phrase they like to say beforehand, and they'll send it in a pre-message text when you're going to pick someone up. Like, hey, you know, I'm Dustin. I'm here to pick you up. Please don't have alcohol or, you know, smoking in my vehicle. You know, they send the whole spiel beforehand. You know, no minors, without car seats, all that good stuff. And then, of course, they'll have in there tips are, you know, appreciated but not required. I've seen a lot of people do that, and, you know, ain't nothing wrong with that at all. In my book, it's not illegal. You're not saying you're not going to accept their ride, you know, at least right away, unless, you know, they have an unaccompanied minor or a minor that doesn't have the correct equipment. Like, you have to have a booster seat or or a car seat, depending on what your kid is. I don't care what nobody says. I deny those rides left and right. And the unaccompanied minor thing, holy shit, it's like beating a horse with a stick. I don't know how many times every day I either have that happen. At least, no matter what, one time a day I have to cancel on an unaccompanied minor. And you're like, oh, well, other drivers pick me up and let me do it. Wish you could smack them people. This should, like, be a required in our damn app that says you know, you can't pick up minor. You can't pick up minor. It should say that to us all the time instead of all this dumb shit. Because so many parents do it and then say it's okay. And think it's okay. Every freaking day. Every day. Thank you, Becky. Every day you end up dealing with fucking minors or people with no car seats. And they think it's okay. I mean, I guess cabs can get away with that, but they follow a whole set of different rules and shit like that. They don't follow the same thing. Yep, high school kids. And that's what people are like, oh, but they're in high school. It's like, still, minor's minor. You know what I mean? You're 16, can't go buy smokes. So, what's that, you know, what's the difference? The law is the law, whether we like it or not. Hell, now they're going to raise, like, the drinking age in some places, I think, to buy smokes in some places is going to end up being 21. Which, hey, you know, I don't care. I don't have to worry about that. But I just thought that was kind of a little messed up there. Nope, if you're under 18, you are a minor. So I don't give a goddamn what the hell they say. Oh, well, it's okay. You can take them still. No, because especially, God forbid, you have a minor in your car and they could say you tried to touch them, you said rude things to them. They could say anything they want. And you could get fucked. You could get royally fucked. So that's why I always recommend nobody ever take the minors. Oh, yes, you can always refuse minors. And you know what? They even say that you can ask them for ID. If you feel like they're underage, you can ask them for ID. I've done that plenty of times. And they, oh, I don't have an ID. We're like, I'm sorry, I don't have a ride. And they're like, okay, we'll just go ahead and cancel. I'm like, nope. You can go ahead and cancel, or I'm going to wait my 5 minutes and cancel. But you just wasted my time to come here knowing you're underage and shouldn't be taking this shit. So I'm getting paid for it. Bottom line. And from my understanding too, even Uber has the option in there. It says unaccompanied minor, and people go ahead and go to click it, and you don't get paid for it. And that's really fucked up. Why are you going to add it if you're not going to get paid for it? Make them cancel. You're damn right, Becky. That's the best thing, because then that won't affect your cancellation rate. Because with Uber and Lyft, of course, everyone knows, if your cancellation rate gets too high, you can get deactivated. Just like if your star rating drops too low. That's why star ratings don't really matter, but up to the point of keeping you active is the only time they fucking matter. Some people say you get better rides or the higher class rides and all that crap if you have closer to 5 stars. I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. I mean, it's been a while since I was up high. I'm only a 4.8, but so it's been a while since I was 4.9 and all that. And that's because I do the night shift, and those drunk motherfuckers, a lot of times they'll accidentally click it, and I'm like, oh man, I hit you 1 star. And I'm like, oh, whatever, dude. Held you up for half. Yeah. Oh, that's why I said no unaccompanied minors and and people with the car seats. That really blows my mind. I went to one time to pick up this lady from the hospital. You know, I didn't know what the hell was wrong or whatever. She come out with the fucking newborn. I'm like, I thought they don't even let you leave the hospital without checking your vehicle to see if you had a car seat and stuff. She was trying to get into my Uber, into my van, with a freaking newborn. I was like, are you retarded? They should take the kid from you. And like me, since I have 4 kids, still 5 stars. You go ahead, Darla. Yeah, get that 5 stars. And to me, you know what? I have 4 kids. I carry a booster chair. I will carry 1. I have 3, because 3 of my kids still need it. But I will carry 1 with me. But I won't carry an actual car seat, because the car seats themselves, you know, for 1 and under, since they have so many recalls and everything else on them all the time, I don't fuck with those. Even though, you know, they should always be safe. But I don't mess with those. The booster seat is just a booster seat. So I don't really see anything wrong with having that, because there's nothing that could go wrong with having a booster seat. Whether the parents had it or not, I have it. That means you can take the ride. You're happy. We're all happy. We're all following the law. Everything's good. So having people actually carry a booster seat I don't see the problem with that at all. It's just when it comes to a car seat that actually have recalls and shit on them, that's when you have to worry about it more. And honestly, I mean, nobody wants to be cooped up all the time. And a lot of people, not everyone's fortunate enough to have their own vehicle. So I understand why it has to happen, but you have to be responsible and bring your own shit. And if I have a booster seat and they have 2 kids and both of them need it, well, I have to cancel. Sorry. I don't break the law for nobody. Well, except the wife. I might do that in the car or something, you know. But other than that, like taking my kids, hell no. If I ain't taking my kids anywhere without a booster or car seat, I sure as hell ain't taking anybody else's. That's a negative. But all right, guys. Oh, Jesus. Been up here for 65 minutes. Man. I want to thank you all for staying and watching. I hope we've been entertaining and at least some kind of helpful, knowledgeable, fun discussion. Of course, I hope everyone has a great day. It's Monday, so hopefully today everyone started off great. And you already picked up, or not picked up, you already planned your week, got your schedule, what you want to make all week, so that way you can make a plan of attack, execute it, adjust as needed, and get that money. Oh, as always, please check the description below for other helpful information and tips. Just keep doing your thing. Don't take shit from nobody. Please don't pick up minors. Stay positive that one day rates will go up. And as always, Uber and Lyft on. Peace out, everybody.